Hey, everybody. Welcome to Youngstown Talk Channel. Isaac, Luke, and Joe in Youngstown Studio, live downtown Youngstown. Some call it the city that never sleeps.
Right before we go live.
Right
before we go live, Isaac is like, Joe, why did you put the camera over there? Like Isaac,
I'm just in here critiquing Joe's studio. Just, it's just I'm a little brother to everybody in my life because I hang out with people that are older than me. And I just, the buttons are there, right? Like there's all these buttons.
Dude, it's nice. It is so nice. If you've never been in here, it's so nice. So much nicer than our Walmart brand studio we used to have. Like we have. Yeah. I mean, we still have it.
I'm like, Joe, I'm not saying our studio was better than your studio is, but our camera used to be on that side. Well, see, that I could look at the comments and look at now I have to go back and put comments.
But there's a conflict in my mind because typically I would have handed you a screwdriver and a ladder,
fixed it. Yeah.
But you guys are known for breaking shit in a shop, so I don't want to do that. So I don't know which to do.
Listen,
Joe,
you
change it.
That's not me.
Wait, how about in our studio? You go to our studio. There's like holes in the walls from you not hitting studs.
That's what I'm saying.
And like our landlord.
Yes,
our landlord came in and had to fix it because he's like it was so messed up. He paid somebody.
Our landlord was like, "Hey, don't do anything. Tell us what you want, and I'll change it." Yeah.
We don't have to pay. Like if we're like we want to move this, he'll send somebody in to do it because I'm so bad at it.
Right. But thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you for being here. God. This show's about you, so call in.
Not yet.
We'll take your phones. Don't call in yet. Joe's still fixing the phones. I know. The studio could be better. We are working on it. Do you know why the phones are broken? I am so sorry for the technical difficulties.
The people that sit on this side, they pull on the cable, and I should show you the sound card. It got all decimated. It got all ruined.
From pulling on the cable?
Wow. Yeah, like there's a audio cable that's down there, and when feet drag across it and they aren't careful, they pull shit out and break it.
That's not even on my side. That's not even my fault this time.
Yeah.
It could be my fault.
Don't you try and blame me in my big feet for ruining.
I'm keeping a scorecard for how many things you guys ruined.
How are we doing so far, by the way?
There's only one. There's only one thing ruined. The USB thing. I'm blaming you.
How is that my fault? Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. We are handling some business this morning. Joe's in actually a better mood than he was last week. Yeah. So I'm not tiptoeing around. Dan says, yo, MLO Bros.
Yo.
Gabriel says, what's up, fellas?
Yo.
What's going on?
What's up? You're late.
Carter says, you're late. Sorry, that was us in the back room arguing with Joe about how he needs to fix the studio.
It wasn't arguing. It was you harassing Joe.
Sorry.
He doesn't charge us. He doesn't.
Listen, all I'm saying is it's a great play. It could be better.
There's always room for improvement.
There's always room for improvement. Don't be that guy,
like when
Joe.
You take that thing, like you get it like a work survey kind of thing. Yeah. It's always a nine.
We're always trying to do better.
Always a nine.
Keep the talent happy, Joe.
We'll take that under advisement. We'll circle back on that.
Freaking pizza eating.
Jeremy says, "What's up, Isaac? Suck it, Luke." Tim says, "Top of the morning." Let's go. What are our topics this morning?
We got all kinds of fun
and we need people to call in.
So we're going to say, I'm going to talk. I'm going to go off at the end. We got threatened again to get sued for defamation and libel.
What did we do?
I don't know.
What did we say that was wrong? Other than give our opinion.
We're going to talk about it. So we're going to save that because that drives me crazy.
What up, Jeff?
Because I almost want someone to do it at this point. So then that way we can go to court and we can countersue them for harassment and we can win. Because we'll talk about that.
I would wear a tuxedo t-shirt, cut off.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that because everybody needs educated on freedom of speech, defamation lawsuits, all that stuff. Yeah, because it's ridiculous.
The freedom of speech thing's just hilarious.
Yeah, because nobody understands it.
Right.
Nobody. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Yep. We're going to give a West Branch update.
Okay, what else we got?
Tariff update.
Tariffs. Okay.
And a police department that all quit at the exact same time.
Local.
Interesting.
Okay.
Let me pull that one up first.
So we're doing police department. Everybody quit at this. Everybody on the force.
Yes.
At the same damn time.
Yes.
I wonder what happened.
Oh, it's got
it. Bet it's a management issue.
Oh, it's a management issue.
Yeah.
All right. Let me find it here.
Did the chief quit too?
I believe so.
Ooh, so it's higher than the chief. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. All right. So,
if you haven't already, go down below, give us a like, give us a follow, go follow Youngstown Studio, go follow the MLO Bros. We got lots of.
I'm testing.
Joe's testing, just ruining the show. But
I told you it's gonna be testing.
But thank you all for being here. Call in a few minutes when Joe gets.
He's like being so mean to you today.
Gets the phone set up. We'll be good to go. We'll be good to talk.
Why is he so mean?
Objective of Youngstown Talk Channel is to start our own Youngstown radio show. Youngstown radio is dying, and we want to. There's no more local radio in Youngstown, so we're trying to replace that.
There is still local radio, but
it's coming to an end soon.
That's our guess.
We will fill the void,
and we're gonna get. How's the radio station thing going, Joe?
Yeah, Joe. How's the radio station thing going?
I had a meeting on Friday.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
We're gonna go on the radio.
You want me to go into the meeting as backup, Joe? You need me there?
Oh, I have another thing to talk. Well, before we get on this stuff, Joe, before we go anywhere, Joe, I was driving home the other day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hear you and Kellen on the radio.
Are they talking shit? You guys?
No, they weren't talking shit. Good. Why don't we ever get invited to go on the radio?
Wait, they were on the radio?
They were on freaking 570.
We would get in so much trouble.
It would be good practice to do it on somebody else's show before we start our own.
But we would get...
Would we get in trouble?
Yes.
I don't know. I think you guys got pretty good self-control.
We cannot... If we knew...
Not to swear.
Yeah.
The swearing...
Yeah,
the swearing could be an issue. That sometimes it just kind of.
I know. If you get heated, you gotta be careful. The problem
we have
so
to.
What? Okay, why haven't you been courted to be on the radio at this point? Because you would be controversial. You'd get a lot of calls. You get people fired.
I don't know.
So what about you guys think that you're on the blacklist at this point?
Because we talk shit about the radio all the time.
No. I think it's because. I think it's because we don't we don't play nice all the time, and that people like management leaders get mad at us for saying our opinion, and then we don't walk it back.
Verb and Rivers don't play nice all the time.
Right. Let me share a little secret with you. If you guys want to warm up to radio, and
what's the secret?
Okay.
We know nothing. We're just two guys.
What they really don't like the golden goose in radio is advertisers.
Okay.
And so if I'm on the air and I'm like, I was over at this restaurant and they have terrible food. It might be the truth, but then you removed an advertiser that's willing to go on the radio and say stuff because you alienated a potential advertiser. So if there's any fear that you're going to take somebody and they're not going to spend money with that station, you're blacklisted.
Anybody
who could spend money with the radio station.
Other realtors,
realtors,
loan
politicians,
officers.
Restaurants.
So if we are loan officers and real estate agents that have both critiqued realtors and loan officers in the past, those are all money that advertisers or that radio station sees as advertisers. Absolutely not, because if we take on Isaac and Luke, you eliminate, and they're known in their industry, you eliminate all banks and you eliminate all realtors.
There's big money
in
those
big
two.
Money
those are two that always pay for stuff too.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Well, shoot. The one Kelly Warren paid was Rivers.
Yeah. I was listening the other day and they just spouted off how awesome Kelly Warren is over and over and over and over.
That makes sense.
But it's that's the politics of our industry,
why we don't do what we do, right.
Their industry of no, that's dumb.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but that's dumb. We'll do it ourselves and we'll be the advertisers ourselves.
Do you think the radio people know who we are?
They know who we are. They know who we are. Yes, 100% they know who we are. You know who we are.
How they refer to you is the funniest part.
So how do they refer to us?
I'm not going to help people without them being
unprofessional losers that don't know what they're doing. Hey, by the way, this is a great time. We are loan officers. We are real estate agents. If you need to buy a house, need financing, need to refi, give us a call.
Are we the assholes?
We'd love to help you.
They just call you the dumb Milo brothers.
The Milo Bros. I love the Milo Bros.
Do they really? Dumb Milo Bros?
The Milo Brothers, yeah.
The Milo Bros.
I wonder why they call us dumb. Why are we dumb?
But it sounds like that's what's circulated in the office because they all use the same verb.
The dumb Milo Bros.
Dumb Milo Bros.
No, what's amazing? What they don't understand is I don't talk about them. I have no idea who these people are.
I would know who they are when
but they know who we are. Love us or hate us, they know who we are.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing. I don't go home and say, honey, the stinking radio station, those freaking losers over at the radio station.
I honest to God, I would probably know who Rivers is if he walked in, maybe. Verb, I don't know what he looks like. Anybody that higher ups, I have no idea.
What's sad though? What's sad if Dan Rivers and Ron Verb don't like us? Like, I want them to know a part of us like grew up.
Oh yeah,
riding in the car with Dad and having our dad sit on hold for hours trying to talk to these guys, and like I admire them. Right. Like I always admired them. I was like, who are these guys talking on this? Like, so a part of us is from them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sad. That's kind of sad in my mind.
So it's not personal with you guys.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You are a threat.
Oh, a threat. Right.
You're a threat.
Right.
And it's a position that's taken because you are critical of places that, that pay the bills there.
Yeah, right. I mean? Oh, I get it. I mean, anytime anybody's a threat, right? That's how you're going to act.
And one of my first memories of Ron Verb, him freaking out, they were talking about video games, and I grew up loving video games. And I remember saying, "Dad, I want to talk to this guy. I want to call in because he's saying video games are bad, and I'm and kids who play video games are bad. I'm not bad, Dad. I'm like, I'm a good kid. I have good grades." And Dad called in on the radio, and I said, I'm not a bad kid, and I play video games, and I have good grades, and I go to school. And that was like my first time talking to a radio guy. Yeah.
He never knew what MLO meant until you just clarified it. It's kind of one of our secrets.
Mortgage loan. Everybody calls us MLO Bros, though. Like everybody in public will be like, hey, look at I don't think MLO Bros.
A lot of people don't know what that means. Like I literally had
mortgage
an MLO
loan originator. Right. We are loan officers.
I like saying
call us for financing.
We've made stuff up before, like me love octopuses and like different.
Tracy said suppressed opposition to the narrative. Jeff said, is there going to be music on Youngstown radio? That would be interesting. I don't know if we'd get I don't know how that works. Ask Joe. I don't know how that works. Lynn Temple says they are just scared. Carter says I never knew what MLO meant. And Lynn says, because you guys are honest about things, they know they can't.
I find it funny too, not to toot our horn or anything. Do you ever walk around and see people looking at you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever do that? I was eating a burrito at a Mexican restaurant in Youngstown. The lady at the table next to me, cold, just mean mugging me the entire time I'm eating my burrito, and I'm just like, that lady has to know me or something because I don't know what's happening. It's weird. And again, I don't think it's in my head because I'll go I was at a track meet last night at South Range.
Right.
I had people looking at me when I'm walking through the stands and kind of
what up, nerds?
And then Dad came up to me, shook my hand, gave me a hug.
That's South Range. We probably
but these are people that from the IEP stuff.
Big champs, baby.
Right. Yeah. And then Walmart. I think a lot of our people shop at Walmart. Whenever I go to Walmart, people recognize us. It's very strange. But
Walmart, it's our people. the creatures of Walmart.
I mean, that's really our thing.
It's MLO, bro. I love those guys.
I get hugged in Walmart and somebody in their pajamas a lot.
Pajama pants. Butt crack out. Just hugging you.
Mm-hmm.
Kellen says, you could be the new Youngstown shock jocks.
Oh, shock jock. That's a 90s term, isn't it?
It is.
The shock jock.
Howard Stern, say things outrageous, get people fired up.
Rover's Morning Glory is sort of still a shock jock.
Lynn Temple, let me say thanks about the IEP pushing. My niece was one of those kids. See, and that's why we do the dang thing. You know what I mean?
That's it. And we get people mad at us too about it, but it's the people who don't agree. And
we had South Range people mad at us.
Here's the thing,
because they're old timers that are like, "Hey, we lived in South Range forever. Our kids are most important that live here."
I had a guy,
I get it, but you don't have to get.
I had a guy who I respect.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say his name.
We talked about this before.
I'm on to it anyways. Literally texting me, and I sent you the text.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like waking up in the morning?
Yeah,
pissing people off. That's literally the text I got.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, I don't even know what you're. He's like, well, you make these posts and you guys do this and you just stir the pot and just cause all kinds of problems. And I'm thinking to myself, if he agreed with what we were saying, he would not have a problem with it.
Yeah, it's like they make us the enemy because we disagree with them, and then they lose. He lost,
right?
What he wanted is IEP kids gone. They want
open
enrollment gone.
Yeah, right.
So in that scenario, they lost. The people obviously decided that it was wrong, and he lost. And he's like, okay, these guys are the enemy. That happens more than you think. Is people are like, no, those guys suck. because
they don't agree with us.
Yeah,
which is crazy to me.
It's just a
it's
a smaller it's a small comparison of like the world today. You know what I mean? Like people disagree with somebody, and because there's the internet, you can be like, that person's a piece of garbage. Right. And it's like, that's not the case. It's just you don't agree with them. They're still fine.
So I have like two levels of that. Disagreeing, I'm fine with. If you don't agree with us, good. Yeah. Right? Yeah. If you don't agree with somebody else's opinion, fine. Right. Don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Where I get freaking defensive and people call me a bully is when people start attacking other people. Right. And then that's where I
you guys are bullies, and we're only bullies to the people
who are bullying,
who are calling somebody names and doing this and doing that, and
but as soon as because we're really good at being a-holes, you and I, we're really good at it. And we can. I feel pretty confident you and I can out a-hole just about anybody.
Right.
And these people get pissed because we start attacking back, and then they can't win that argument.
Yeah.
And it's, these guys are bullying me. Yeah. How dare you? I'm a victim.
How about the lady the other day that changed our comment using the Photoshop? She changed our comment to say on one of the posts that like we hate veterans and we hate your dead grandpa who fought in Vietnam. Like, you can clearly see she photoshopped the comment. And I'm like, lady, what are you doing?
She literally changed our comment to make it like we want to change the West Branch mascot. Like, that's what she was saying.
Yeah, because you put the MLO Bros.
I put the bulldog on top of the West Branch. Yeah. It was AI did it.
So then she added in that we hate, we don't care about your dead veteran grandpa. So it's like, you added that in, lady. What went through your mind that was like, I know how I'll get these guys. I'm going to say that they hate veterans because everybody loves veterans, and they're going to lose this argument. It's like, what are you talking? What are we doing here? What are we doing?
The lady was absolutely insane, and it was a fake profile account. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was laughing so hard, but it's like, but the thing is, like, you're going to do that, and you think are we going to be like, oh my God, she's not being honest?
Yeah,
we love your dead grandpa. Like, what the fuck? I don't care.
Right.
I don't care.
I just don't get it. But let's go to topics so people can call in. Joe, did we get the phones figured out?
I don't know. The volume might be a little low for you guys to hear it. I don't know. Being
all right. Okay. All right. Speaking about Walmart, Craig Beach Police Department. You know where Craig Beach is?
That's Lake Milton.
That's Lake Milton. You know Craig Beach? You ever go swim in there?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the place that gets like viruses and stuff all the time, I think, like during the summer because
it's too warm.
It gets too warm and you get like, you don't know that happens? Like when the water heats up too much and then you get the stuff that swims up your
flesh-eating bacteria in your brain and shit.
The stuff that swims up your urethra.
Oh, that kind of stuff? That's why whenever I swim in lakes, I tape the tip of my penis.
No, you don't. No, you don't tip it.
No, I do.
Surgical tape? Yeah. Like microbial
tape?
Do you tape your ears, your mouth, like everything?
No,
or just your urethra?
Yeah. It's a very small piece of tape.
Oh my God.
Go on.
I'm going on. Officers, I apologize for my little brother. Officers with the
it's not a bad strategy. I'm contemplating.
Now I'm kind of thinking about it. Yeah. Can we get like a plastic bag and like
just wear condom?
Problem is
no, but surgical tape lets airflow through without letting bacteria and viruses. It has like
surgical tape.
Yeah, that's totally what I thought.
So we make a surgical tape condom to wear swimming
because the logistics of the condom, you can't go that. You got to go tape. There's kids swimming in there, Luke. You can't.
Chris the visitor said, "What did I just tune into?"
Swimming in a lake, you have to be careful when you're swimming in water that's extremely warm because there are bacteria that could get in your flesh-eating bacteria that could get into your brain if they go in through your ears, through your orifices. And then being men, we thought of another hole in your body. So I said, every time I go swimming in hot water, I tape the tip of my penis.
So wait, your mom?
Oh, no, that's my mother-in-law.
Your mother-in-law's listening.
Hi, Mom. Pamela Holbrook's my mom. Way too much information about my son-in-law. LOL. Love you.
Love you too, Mom.
Do you ever think your mother-in-law's like? Is your mother-in-law? Is Pam ever like? Oh my God! What?
All the time.
You like me? What? Like what was my daughter?
She's way too nice to me. She is.
Like, she's like, oh my God, Shelby.
It's okay. Shelby knows I'm free an idiot, so she gets it. We've been married long enough now.
Okay, here we go. Good. I'm trying to get to this news. Here we go. Officers with the Craig Beach Police Department submitted letters of resignation at a village council meeting Tuesday night. All police officers in the department, including the chief, have resigned. Officers cited a hostile work environment, claiming retaliation and poor communication from council members. The officers who resigned include Chief Police Kyle Pettis, and all these guys. The 7th officer is on active military service and could not submit a resignation. It started at a council meeting. I love this community that we serve, and it has been an honor working under Police Chief Pettis. Council pushed back, asking why inventory reports hadn't been turned in and questioned the need for more than 2 cruisers. Officers said the cruisers had needed repairs. Given the maintenance issues, you guys have passionately informed the rest of the crowd over. We decided it would be better to wait until we have the funds to buy a new one. This is how it all started as far as I'm concerned, said Jamie Becker, councilwoman. The resignation has come months after the now former Chief Pettis was directly laid off and reinstated following social media posts accusing the council of lacking support. Oh, the council freaking suspended him for posting on social media. Oh, council has been very vocal about wanting our department to fail and refusing to support any efforts for us to improve. So I'm supposed to accept the resignation of the entire department without accounting of public property whatsoever. Is that what you're going to say? The officers argue their current vehicles are in desperate need of repair. I have 2 vehicles that you say we're allowed to have. One goes down, leaves us with 1 vehicle. That's 1. How big is Craig Beach? The second issue is during summertime, we are peak season. The council unanimously accepted all resignations. At this point, it's unclear who would say, wow, who will take over at law enforcement.
So here's the thing.
How big?
An entire, all of the police force just leaving. That's not a simple, hey, our cars aren't working correctly and we're done. Like the council's trying to make it seem. That is probably been going on for a very long time, and those employees are all miserable that they would all step down. There has to be issue after issue after issue. There has got to be just the worst type of person above them telling them what they can and can't do.
It's a small town. It's got 1,100 people. It is 0.33 square miles. That's not big. That's tiny.
So is it just a couple people? Is it just a couple
11
police officers and the chief?
I don't know.
Is it 2 guys?
It was 7 people. They said.
Oh well, then still that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's.
It's not just a Craig Beach 1,070 pops
population. I just dropped my gum on the floor, Joe.
Oh, there it is. Write that down, Joe. Write that down.
It's on the ledger. Hey, before we move on from Craig Beach, I did look in to see what the proper medical strategy is for things swimming up.
So awesome. Okay, what is it?
Okay, they make a thing called a penile clamp.
Penile clamp.
Here's a picture of it.
I think I've seen that in a movie.
Can you send me that link? I'm gonna buy one.
And
can I see it?
It restricts the urethra.
That looks extremely uncomfortable.
No, it says specifically
and large.
Comfortable.
It looks like it would weigh down.
Hold it up to the camera.
Okay, they make those in smaller sizes? That looks way too big.
It comes in 7 sizes.
Oh, right? Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Small, medium,
extra small.
And it has a dial to put the pressure on it. It only costs $100.
Is it specifically for swimming?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to swim with that thing, man? It
says it's for all day use and it's comfortable. You just have to give it a try.
I want to know the guy. I'd like to meet the guy that invented that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
are you game if we order them and we wear them live?
Just the whole time. Obviously people don't see anything.
Well, we don't see them, but we wear them while we're live.
See, the problem is we order those and then we're making fun of each other for what size you order. That's the problem. We don't tell each other. I'm going to lay this down right now. We don't talk about sizes.
Well, they're measured in circumference, so you have a good indication of what size.
We're going to have to go to the bathroom and measure it up before we order.
It's not about the length; it's about the girth, right?
Large is 4 to 5.5 inches in girth.
What? That's a girth monster, bro.
That is not even like, bro, that's not even ready to do your business either. That's like
that's soft. 4 inches girth. That's a large.
Wait, in diameter?
In diameter.
4 inches.
That's 1, 2.
BJ,
three,
do you have a measuring tape back there, BJ?
Soft, bro. We cannot talk about this on the radio if we ever get on the radio, by the way. But
we need a measuring tape. 4 inches?
That is something.
Girth.
That is something right there.
Yeah, it's
dude.
Small is up to 2.7 inches.
There we
in
go.
girth.
Now we're talking.
There we go.
So how does it? I mean, dude, and the thing is, that thing's gonna have to clamp. I mean, right, to stop restriction of flow.
It's gonna be so clamped down that nothing can swim up and nothing can go.
So what happens if you
pee? You're not peeing either.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. What happens if I try and pee with one of these bad boys on?
You're not gonna be able to.
Think my Peter will explode?
It's like sneezing when you hold.
Yeah, when you're holding.
Like it come out your ear.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
bro! It's got like a measuring tape on this thing and everything. Who invented this?
BJ, do you have a measuring tape?
Well, what that device is?
My mother-in-law says, "Okay, time to go to work."
Time to start.
Dennis Denise, I don't even know anymore. It says, "I think you need to binge drink till someone explodes."
We put them on and we drink.
Just drink water. We don't even need booze. Just drink water until somebody explodes.
As soon as I put it on,
that cannot be healthy. That cannot be healthy.
I think it's for people who can't. They have incontinence issues where they can't not pee and leak everywhere.
So instead of
don't knock it till you try it.
So you're not peeing all.
This is your advertising bit,
right?
Man, this is your advertising bit. You guys can sell them. Hell yes.
BJ said this is way over my pay grade. BJ, we're gonna need you to measure some stuff for us here shortly.
Well, I picked a bad time to
make
start
something for postpartum women. Definitely. Right. I mean, Krista. I mean, I'm not an expert on women
stuff, anatomy.
Yeah, I think it'd be easier than stopping a girl from peeing than a guy from peeing.
I addressed this as well to see what would.
They got a girl. They got a women thing,
but it's more of like underwear, like a diaper.
Yeah,
that seals around your legs.
I believe that's called a chastity belt,
and it sucks
like a
pressure in so that no water gets inside and up.
Why can't we just wear that then?
You could.
Yeah. Why do I got to clamp something around my freaking thing?
That's way less fun though. I feel like the clamp is way more like breezy, you know? You don't have to change your life too much. You just freaking tie that sucker on there and you're good to go.
So, dude, the best part about this is we talked about why we're not allowed on the radio, and then we just dope exactly like we're like, I don't understand why they won't let us have on the radio.
We have not done anything talking bad about other we've done nothing but promote this. But we have a potential advertiser.
Fine. Radio, you don't want us to talk about businesses, you're worried about advertising. Fine. We'll talk about something different. Penis clamps.
I think that's a great idea. I think this could make I think we could make radio a ton of money.
Kellen's asking you to reset the pins. Can you please reset the pins?
Wait.
Of what we're talking about?
I feel like I missed some info I'd need.
Kellen needs to reset the pin. Please tell Kellen.
So,
please reset
resetting the pins for those who are just joining us. We talked about how Craig Beach recently, that's Lake Milton Police Department, all stepped down. There were like 7 of them. So then we're talking about Craig Beach and how the water is very warm at Craig Beach during the summer when you go swimming there. And I told looked Joe dead in the eyes and told him I like to tape my penis tip when I'm swimming in warm water. So that, hey, BJ, make sure you make this a clip for Instagram.
Go ahead, keep going.
So you tape the tip of my penis with tape so that the flesh-eating bacteria and parasites don't swim up my tip, nor do I put my head underwater so that my orifices are not exposed. So
I felt then obligated to make sure that it was medically sound.
Joe.
So I looked it up.
So Joe looked it up and he found a product that you can clamp a man's genitals so that
what's it called?
It's a penile clamp.
A penile clamp to stop any in or out of the penis. And then you don't have to worry about it. And I said that sounds uncomfortable, and we're going from there. We're going from there.
I think this is a good educational conversation.
It's all science.
I think it's medical. I think it's helping.
The cock clamp makes better radio. I'm gonna give my advertisement. Hold on.
Okay.
This is Ron Verb. If you're watching, you should be proud of me.
Practice.
Dan Rivers, if you're watching,
Practice.
be proud of me.
Okay, this is the advertisement. We're looking for sponsors now, by the way, for our show.
Yeah.
This is
if anybody would like to sponsor, comment. Thank you so much to one of our sponsors, the Penile Clamp. Now, the Penile Clamp offers the safety and security of swimming in warm water without having the.
You just
Let me try. You lost. Here we go.
I lost. Go ahead.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is Luke from the MLO Bros. When you're going swimming at Craig Beach, worried about getting some sort of amoeba swimming up your urethra, I'm here to talk to you about the Penile Clamp. That's right, the Penile Clamp, coming in sizes from 2.5 inches to 5 inches for you bigger boys. That's right, it's going to prevent those amoebas from swimming into your brain, causing issues. And it's not only is it safe, it's also comfortable. You can start at 3 inches and clamp it down to 2.5. Let's say you don't have good continence, and it does have a side effect where you're not going to pee your pants. And also, we have for the ladies out there, it's called what was that one called?
I don't know what it was called.
The ladies diaper. That's right. It'll clamp
The suction
down.
diaper.
Suction diaper, not allowing amoebas to swim up your lady parts. Feel free to look them up online at www.penalclamp.com.
I need an AI generated script. You go from hit all the important points.
Mm-hmm.
The sizes, that it's not by length, it's by girth.
That I'm not gonna lie, the 5.5. Yeah.
5.5 inches of girth, bro. That is a girth monster.
I mean 5.5
And that's soft, bro. You have a hog. You shouldn't be swimming in the lake. You need to be getting yourself into porn. Like, what are we doing?
5.5
girth monster.
Wow, soft. Like, how big would that be if they were erect?
Yeah, bro.
I mean, that's gonna be like
Barry Wood, dude. You know the guy, the meme from back in COVID?
Man.
Yeah, bro.
Wow. I am not. Nobody tell Maggie that.
The Dyson diaper.
All right. Should we keep going?
I will not bring this up again. You can move on into the important stuff.
I like tape. I think tape's
just going back to tape.
You just reapply tape.
But what if it falls off though?
Just reapply.
Because is tape waterproof? No.
Yeah, athletic tape.
Surgical tape is? I mean, you could go one time this like length and then around.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you go over. It's like
over, like a Band-Aid. Like
you go over the front and then side to side. Yeah.
Man, that is going to be uncomfortable.
But I just
taking that tape off.
Sliver.
Taking that tape off.
You just rip it off like a Band-Aid, baby.
God. But then, yeah, right. Liz just said that you got to rip it off.
There's no hair down there.
I would like to apologize to anybody who was actually looking forward to our conversations today. And yeah.
So he's like, I'm going to tune in for their hard-hitting school.
I can't wait to hear
school information.
I can't wait to hear about tariffs.
Right. We sponsored a bunch of schools.
Yes, tell them that. Tell them that.
And so our advertising in our Facebook groups,
that everybody complains about.
Advertising that from the show, we gave it back to the community. So everybody always complains about us having advertising in our groups to keep the groups, with good information, good content. But we give all that money back. So we sponsored sports teams in Canfield, Poland, South Range, Austin Town. I think we did 3 in each of them so far. But I mean, we're giving it all back. We don't collect a penny from that. So.
If you're listening and you're from West Branch too, because we're causing havoc not havoc, but bringing light to the world in West Branch.
Right.
I want to sponsor some of their stuff. So if you're listening from West Branch, I'm not going to post this on Facebook. Message us if you're listening from West Branch. Any of the teams, any of the groups. I like doing the groups that or the organizations that don't get a lot of money at the schools, like the Quiz Bowl, the band. Like
we did, too, like in Austin Town, a parent reached out to us. Hey, middle school drama. We sponsored middle school drama because middle school drama's director comes out of pocket for the sets
and stuff. Excuse me. So we were like, yeah, we'll give $200 here, $200 there, and just all over the community because advertising's like $100 for 12 posts or something. So
we did sponsor the Lowville quarter auction too, by the way.
Yeah, and we're at the point now where we've given so much we don't even know.
I need to keep track of that,
and we should advertise that we're doing it so that people know, but we don't.
Yeah. Kids track me. Wonderful. I would love to do it.
Oranges and Capri Suns. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm 100% in on that. Like anything we can do to help. And like I said, West Branch, I've been there a couple times. I know it's far. Yeah. It's a haul, but I would love to help out, especially because we got people on there. Jennifer Green says, I was tuning in for the West Branch update, but it totally made my day. Thanks for making me laugh.
We should probably keep going on the schedule.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. So West Branch update. I wanted to save that though, because that kind of goes into my defamation.
We'll just go. We'll do defamation last.
Okay. Joe, do you have anything on the tariffs?
What about?
You keep track of that stuff all the time. And then we're going to get into the West Branch stuff. So stay tuned. Tariffs. They backed off on some of the stuff.
So the escalation between us and China was the one that
we cancel everything else for the other people, for the others.
They're negotiating. So I think they have 55 or 60 countries that went to zero tariffs. Okay. So
because we're negotiating.
Sweet.
Okay.
And up to about 90 will probably be at the end of this week. Okay. Wow. But the big ones are going to be China and what their reaction is. So we went back and forth, 125, then 145, and just they're threatening, we're threatening, and whatnot. And then over the weekend, they made some exemptions for some of the electronics that are coming,
like Apple.
Right.
Yeah, you have to do that. I mean,
I think you're soft.
Well, I
do you think you're soft? I don't think it's soft. You want votes.
In terms of negotiation.
Part of the negotiation is that neither of us are going to want to be embarrassed by this. Mm-hmm. And so part of the lead up is that we're going to go soft on something, and then they're going to go soft on something, and we're all going to try to save face on the other side of this. So I think it's going to slow walk. We might be.
You think China is going to ease up?
Oh yeah.
I think they have to, right?
I think they have to. I think they really. Yeah, I think our consumption of Apple and all this stuff that they want, do not. I say, they keep rising and rising and rising. Cool. Your economy is much more reliant on us than we are on you.
For sure.
We can, hey, Apple, go to Vietnam. We have no tariffs on Vietnam. Go to Vietnam. But China is very much reliant on us. You guys want to play tough, and that culture is very much never give up, never surrender. So that's fine. But your economy will suffer more than ours will. Our economy might suffer too, but we can say, Apple, go to Vietnam or somewhere else, and then they'll be forced to.
Okay, so this is my fear. China's really smart. They play the long game. They've been thinking about this forever.
Yeah.
So let's just say we sign an agreement with Vietnam, right? And we did it to get the tariffs, but they don't really have any loyalty to us.
Right.
So China's like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell my product to Vietnam, and then Vietnam is going to sell it to us to take advantage of the zero tariffs.
Yeah.
So you can skirt this in about 2 seconds.
But they still have to pay that middleman, Vietnam, to do that. So, right?
The markup difference?
Yeah.
For sure.
They still have
to
pay
be 145%.
Right.
I was reading, there was something a couple years ago where there were tariffs on something coming into the U.S. from a country, and then they sent, I think it was lumber or something, and they sent it to Canada, and then Canada shipped it over. They do, and they said it constantly happens.
Yep.
So then that way they can afford it. And if that's happening, that's freaking bullshit.
Did you read Corey Deal's comment? Make lumber prices cheap again.
I did not.
Lumber is ridiculous right now.
Oh, it's insane.
Corey, I have a bunch of lumber at my house if you need it, like 2x4s, 2x6s. I took a bunch of stalls down. If you want to come pick it up,
he'll only charge you.
I don't have like.
There's such a tariff when you try and take it off when you come.
Yeah, you want to buy it off of me though, man. What's the price of 2x4s right now?
Brian says, you go soft, we go soft, then we all go to swimming at Creek Beach with the penal clamp.
Yeah, this is a great time to bring up our new sponsor, Penile Clip. Are you tired of swimming in waters that just feel unsafe because of the warmth, and you're worried about deadly amoebas, bacteria swimming up your penis hole? Well, we got you covered. The Penile Clamp, ranging in a wide variety of different shapes and sizes, got you covered from 2.5 inches all the way up to 7.5 inches.
No, 5.5.
We're not talking length, boys. We're talking girth. I mean, there are some guys out there
How big is that cup?
We have you covered. You can swim in warm water and safe.
So 5 would be.
You can swim in warm water safely, knowing that the penile clamp is there, will not fall off, and it protects you from the dangers of swimming in warm water in the summertime.
It's got to be circumference. It can't be 5.5.
Thank you so much for taking
it. Can't be 5.5 girth. It can't. It has to be circumference because 5.
No, that's okay. First off, math. Okay, diameter and circumference. So circumference is going to be around. So that makes way more sense if it's.
Can we look that up, please? Joe, can you look that up?
5.5 circumference.
Is it circumference or girth? Because if it's diameter, I'm
and
never.
There's somebody out there walking around with a 5.5 inch diameter hog.
I'm worried about them. I'm worried about their loved ones, like their significant other.
Yeah,
wives or boyfriend.
Right.
I mean,
could you imagine, dude?
I mean, there's no way.
It's got to be circumference.
We're thinking.
Okay.
See, that's
I will read.
I was thinking diameter, and it's definitely circumference.
So number 1, measure the circumference mid shaft around a relaxed
mid shaft
relaxed penis.
Joe, you gonna measure me?
BJ, what are you doing back there?
Don't.
Just yelled no.
BJ,
man,
we are getting awfully close to sexual harassment.
Okay, so there is a minimum penis length needed for the
What's the minimum length?
1.5 inches.
Man, micro
1.5 inch. There are guys out there with. Wow, now I feel fine. Now I'm good. I feel way better about myself. 1.5.
You're at least double that.
1.5.
I mean, you're 6'1". You're at least double that. I got size 15 shoes. Don't let the shoes fool you, ladies. It's really tiny.
And thank you for digging into this topic again, so we can talk about it.
I'm sorry. We started. We were getting.
What an awesome product! Did you know that Joe Rogan, when he first started out like 12 years ago or whatever it was, his first sponsor? What was his first sponsor?
Viagra?
Nope. Close. What was his first sponsor?
What was it?
Penis pumps.
Was it really?
Penis pumps. And he's like, I have no sponsors. Sure, let's do it.
I mean, if we're gonna, by the way, guys, we are trying to get sponsors now. You can message us if anybody.
Penis pumps and fleshlights. Yeah, I'm dead serious. That was his first sponsor. He talks about it every now and then.
If you have a business that would like to support us in our conversations, you know. Let us know.
And he's like, and thank God for them because it kept me going when I had no idea I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know if this was going to work. Everybody told me I was an idiot for doing it. It wasn't going to work. And why am I wasting my time? And he's like, look at me now.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's circumference.
It's circumference.
So that's the around.
Okay, so
you're taking
5.5.
Like when you go to the tailor and they measure your shoulders, you take one of those and you wrap it around.
Yeah, we need one of those loose fitting.
Yeah, around your waist. That's
we need one of those tapes because that's got to be.
I don't know. You can't. It's not going to be that big, man. It's not going to be because that's soft. You know.
I still want to know how big a 5.5.
Another thing too is I'm sure some guys are going to be able to you're going to be able to clamp it more to stop pee from coming out.
It's going
to have to be really tight. And that's
I can't wait till Maggie's like, what'd you guys talk about today?
Nothing,
honey.
Nothing.
You'd be really proud.
Don't look. Don't go watch our show. Good thing our wives don't watch our show.
Oh, Maggie refuses. Does Shelby refuse?
Yeah, Shelby doesn't watch my shit. No way.
So we can figure out that whole girth thing.
Who keeps bringing it back?
Times like this where I love your analytical mindset.
What do you got?
So if you take the 5.5, which is the largest size, and you divide it by pi, then you get the radius, which is going to be half of the total girth, right? Okay. So that'd be 1.74, which would be the radius. That would be 3 inches in girth. So
is the 5.5?
That's the 5.5.
See, that's still a big dong soft, dude.
So that'd be like that.
Yeah. About 3. That's just over 3 inches.
Big. That's the width. So you're talking 3 inches.
3.25. Let me see if I have a ruler.
2. Yeah, it's about that girthy.
How big?
That girthy. Next to, because they say a fingernail is an inch, right?
We need a measuring tape.
1, 2, 3, little bit over that. So like you're talking that.
Now I want to go see what I compare to the remote.
I just want to. Can we buy one?
I mean, we could buy one.
Joe, hey, buy us one.
It is your birthday.
BJ's back there. He's like, guys, you gotta get this. Stop talking about it. Keep it going. I can't make reels with this content. Instagram's not going to let us make reels with this content.
Mr. Vinesky, there's our band teacher.
That's our band director.
Band director, Mr. Vinesky. Go ahead, Isaac. You set the pins for our band director. set the pins for Mr. Vinesky.
Mr. Vinesky, our wonderful my middle school band director.
Set it up.
So what we're talking about today, we were talking about Craig Beach police officers. All 7 police officers left Craig Beach. And we were talking about in the summertime, you swim at Craig Beach, the water gets really warm, and there's all kinds of different like viruses and stuff and deadly amoebas that come with that warm water. So what I said was anytime I'm swimming in water that's over 85 degrees Fahrenheit, I tape the tip of my penis. So then that got us thinking, and they were like laughing at me. I don't know why you would laugh at me. There's nothing wrong with trying to be healthy and safe, swimming safely. Nothing wrong with that. So Joe said I think there's a product out there. He Googled it. We Googled a product that clamps your penis so that
the penile clamp.
It's a penile clamp. Clamps your penis so that no water gets in and out or out so that nothing could swim up your urethra. So
thanks for asking, Mr. Vinesky.
Thank you for asking, Mr. Vinesky.
Let's not reset the pins anymore. Let's move on.
So then we were talking about how
he's not listening.
So then we were talking about like different sizes of the product and going from there. And
5.5 circumference is the biggest they offer.
The biggest they
offer.
What
about tariffs? Let's talk about tariffs.
Oh yeah, talk about tariffs.
Oh, but no, while Mr. Vinesky's tuned in, I want to say, so me and you both played tuba. We both played tuba. Mr. Vinesky, I still picture you to this day standing at the front and being like, the tuba's always had the bass groove, right? So I always picture Mr. Vinesky up there with a bass guitar saying, okay, your part, you got to think about it. You got to be groovy with it. So whenever a song with an awesome bass groove comes on, I always think of Mr. Vinesky up at the front of the classroom slapping the bass.
See, he was your middle school. He was my high school.
Oh, was
because I was in concert band. I was in marching band my freshman year, but then football called, so I had to play football my sophomore year. And he was
Mr. my Cubic ruled too. I had him for like elementary.
He was, and Mr. Cubic was Mr. Kane was middle school.
Mr. Kane was middle school, and then Mr. Kane left. Called in Mr. Vinesky
because he had retired. And he was at YSU for a while after.
Right, and I had DeCesare or DeCesare for high school. And Vinesky for 7th and 8th grade, I believe. And then Vinesky was always helping out too. And then
South Range?
Yeah, Cubic was music when I was in elementary school, and then bus driver. He became bus driver.
Cubic was the bus driver. And Cubic worked in the office.
Yes.
There you go. Now we learn.
We are very much
South Range people. Yep. Back to tariffs. Anything else you want to talk about tariffs?
Well, they now did a Uno reverse on it, and they moved electronics to a different bucket and then increasing the tariffs on electronics. So don't know what's going on.
So still nobody knows. And that's why the market, by the way, keeps going like this.
Yes.
It is insane.
The day traders are probably loving it. Dude.
Yeah.
Probably loving it.
Well, they're accusing Trump and everybody of purposely manipulating the market.
How do you do that though? Like,
because I say I'm charging tariffs on everybody. Market drops because everybody's worried about prices going up.
Load up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, never mind. I'm not going to do tariffs.
If anybody, you should be mad at anybody, it should be all the lawmakers, because all the lawmakers are knowing what's happening and they're probably investing. We should stop all lawmakers. Even Trump, even the president of the United States,
100%.
Stop them all from being able to invest in the market at all whatsoever. No stocks, no bonds, no freaking.
The problem is they're going to figure out a way around. They'll have their family members do it.
But don't manipulate. You're voting on the market, which is like, I want you to care about the people and what's best for them, not what's best for what you're investing in.
Yeah, well,
it's changing your decision making. It would change my decision making. It's millions of dollars.
Do you honestly think
you go in at $170,000 a year salary and you come out $180 million? How does that happen?
The only way you would stop that from happening is if you put term limits on Congress.
Do it. Term limits on all of them. Don't let them invest in the stock market.
Yep.
Those are the two things. Next up, third is age limits and or If you want to call me ageist or whatever you want to call it, that's fine. Some kind of cognitive testing to make sure that they are intellectually still there.
Yeah. You have like those 95-year-olds that.
Yeah, they're like, what are we voting on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
They're like,
was the one,
ma'am, you're supposed to say yes on that one. Yes. It's like, what are you freaking wheeling her in there to make a decision?
Can you wear? No, I'm wearing cutoffs. If my nip slips, so be it. I'll show you my nipple right now.
Sarah, you are a little late. Nip slip would be the absolute best thing that could come up in conversation right now.
Nipple conversation is actually doing better than what we were talking about.
Right. All right, back to tariffs.
Back to tariffs. But how it will? Do you think it would ever happen that they put term limits on Congress? There's no way, right? It'll never happen.
No, not at all. Unless the public pushes it and anybody doesn't support it.
You want to riot in the streets about something? That's the three things.
Yeah.
I would if somebody was like, "Hey, tomorrow at noon, we're all going to go outside and we're all going to march about term limits, age limits, and not investing in the stock market for all purchase." I would be there with a sign, like 100%. That's what we should be rioting the streets about.
All right, hold on. I'm going to Google this. I know it's a big percent. I know the amount of people, dude.
And that is something that is like all sides agree. Like these are people that are making this, they are the elite.
82%, according to polls, 82% of U.S. adults support term limits for Congress.
That's something.
87% Republicans, 80% Democrats are all in favor for it.
That's the real elite, like the elite that needs to stop, man. That is, it makes me.
But here's the catch: Congress would have to vote to limit themselves, and we all know that will never happen.
Yeah, stop lobbyists from being in politics.
Lobbyists is another one too.
Right, stop it, man.
Wow,
but that's a dangerous one.
If you stop it.
What about if it's a lobbyist group that is supporting some constitutionality, like the NRA or the AARP?
You're saying it can be dangerous because you're going to lose.
They're spending. Well, if the government can target a person, an agency, or a company, the company has to be able to defend itself. So the only way that you would stop that is if the government can't individually target a company, an industry, or a person. How would you defend yourself against government if you couldn't spend money to defend yourself?
The people. You go to the people. You go to the people and have the people pressure the businesses have to go to the people to pressure the government, because then they would fear they need to fear people, not businesses. That's what needs to happen. I don't like them fearing businesses and fearing where their money's coming from, because that influences all kinds of other decisions.
Wow.
It's just a rough one, because you say that and then you'll take something that you guys are passionate about and make the government start assailing it. Yeah. And then they can just do it without anybody.
You have the Constitution to protect freedom of speech, guns, because guns protect your freedom of speech. If the government gets too mouthy.
It does. Dude, they have nukes.
I don't. You will never. The United States has more guns than we do people.
I understand.
You will never have, like, if everybody wanted to, you couldn't go door to door and collect the weapons.
Oh, I agree with that.
But they have nukes, but they're not going to nuke their own people. I don't think they wouldn't do that, because you need the people to survive as a government. If not, it disappears.
I guess I never agree with that. When people say, "Oh, we need the guns to protect us from our government,"
that's literally what our founding fathers.
That's what they said when everybody had freaking pistols and muskets and stuff. But now it's not like that. They have freaking weapons, dude.
There will never be a full frontal ground assault by another country on the United States because of.
Oh, I'm saying that.
They will never be able to.
I'm saying if the U.S. citizens, half the U.S. citizens, grabbed their guns, went out into the street to riot and to try and take over.
But that's not what it's for. It's for the freedom of speech. So if a government stops you from saying what you want about the government,
right?
Then number 2 is guns. We have guns. You have the right to bear arms against the tyrannical government if they try. So that the people, we outnumber them still. You get all the people together who have guns, and the government's trying to impose some crazy thing. We have guns to protect ourselves. That's literally what our founding fathers said.
Saying we don't have enough guns and strong enough guns to.
We have like 3 guns for every person.
It doesn't matter. They are like, if the military decided to back the tyrannical.
It's like Indians versus Native Americans versus.
What do you think?
Okay, so the legislature works different than that. The people is a good in theory, but the way that legislation is crafted. So let's just say a bill's coming up. The lobbyists get together with the legislature and they put the bill together, right? And then the people who are against what's in the bill, they get to defend it in real time.
Yeah.
You would only, as a taxpayer or whatever, see it on the other side after legislation was get. Nobody's going to go there and make sure that there wasn't something like, let's just say they wanted to make podcasting harder for regular people to do. So they put a $10,000 permit from the FCC before you had to do it.
Oh, man, that's a great idea, actually.
You find out if they slid it in a bill, right? When would you find out? After it's already been passed.
Right.
Then what would you do?
You're screwed then.
Yeah, so the lobbyists are in the meetings and talking to the legislature to see whether or not things get put in there at all.
Do you think, would it be fair to say there should be some kind of limit?
Limit for what?
Give me
limit for what?
For money that's flowing from the lobbyists to the government officials.
Like a cap of what they're allowed to spend?
Like, if Pfizer is spending millions and millions and millions of dollars and giving it to the FDA for whatever reason that they come up with, and the FDA's budget is being paid for with that money, isn't it like the FDA is just working for Pfizer?
Yeah, they get
that's exactly what happens.
Like if I put something in front of the FDA and I haven't given them any money,
how do you stop that?
Those limitations.
So you have to have some kind of limit, because it's like, if it's over 50% of their budget, they work for Pfizer.
Right.
It's like, oh, and we wonder why there's no, like, it's like, okay, yeah, they say there's tests being done to say if the whatever is safe that comes from Pfizer, but it's like, they're going to be really, 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 really scared to say anything bad about Pfizer's product, because if they do,
100%. That's the whole point. That's exactly what's going on.
That's my problem.
There you go. That's 100% what's happening.
That's my problem.
That's 100% what's happening.
That's like, you need to limit that so it can only be like 10%.
It's
or 15%.
It's very
something
at a
because
smaller scale.
The government organizations are then corrupt by these big companies.
Yes.
And it's not about the companies, it's about the people. So that's where I lean. Oh, the left would call me a conspiracy theorist if you said it was about vaccines, but it's like, that is a more of a liberal perspective, where it's like, you have to take the companies out of
100%.
Out of influence,
dude,
of government organizations.
It's the same thing at a smaller scale with pharmaceuticals, pharmaceutical sales reps, which our dad was.
Yeah.
Going in
right
to doctors' offices. Now they've cut it down a lot, but going into doctors' offices in the 80s and 90s, they would go in. Our dad took doctors on vacations. Took them to
he would get doctors, like, he would get limo buses,
Bahamas.
He'd bus them up to Toronto, spend for all their all money on all the money on dinner and gambling and stuff, and then he'd bus them home. Like, just, hey,
so,
and they're like,
so
oh, okay,
go
cool.
To that doctor,
yeah,
and there's all these prescriptions that might be good, might be better,
but
who's that doctor going to write for?
This took me on vacation.
Yeah, this guy took me to the freaking Bahamas, or this guy took me on a bus trip to. Yeah.
Now they've limited that now, but you still, these doctors, when they hire people, are literally like, you're going to get free lunch every day, because they're bringing in free lunches.
Lynn says not allowed to go toward politician officials individually. Yeah, but like, in a way, I still don't think the government organizations, whether it's the FDA or whatever organization, should be able to be paid that large of a percentage.
Those guys are getting paid somehow.
Yeah.
Are they getting paid through like they got to be getting paid by lobbyists somehow, either in envelopes, or one of those.
Like you said, they'll find out what the rule is, and they'll still figure out a way to get that money to those people.
Yeah, they're getting money.
Way.
They're getting money.
It's going to happen.
There's a show on Netflix, like a docuseries about
election. Are they allowed to donate to the election funds?
In ways, there's a cap of how much personally you can give, but then they have a different a different type of
like PACs and stuff like that, right?
PACs or whatever. So instead of giving directly, they give to the PAC,
and then the PAC
has
gives
freedom of speech to be
Wow.
able to say the message.
Wow.
What was it? It was with the Netflix show was about like pain meds. That family that was
dude, that was a good show.
Yeah, and they were talking about the guy that was working for the FDA that they like put in a hotel room. And like, we literally don't know what happened in this hotel room, but he was there for 3 days. And when this guy that worked
came out, he
agreed to do what the company wanted him to do.
Yeah,
and it's like, what did they do in that room? Like,
yeah, it's
what
crazy.
did they give that dude?
Yeah, Chris, I know. Krista says they came to a screeching halt. I understand that. Now you're allowed to do like lunches, and you have to do like a speaker show. You got to document
with the drugs. Yeah, at the end there,
right,
it became way harder for Dad to sling Celebrex.
That was it.
Yeah,
Celebrex and Ambien.
Yeah, and then now it's just like you're a delivery. You just go get them lunch
and
you're a delivery driver
and samples.
So dumb.
Yep. Election funds. Wow, I don't know, man. The government's so messed up. The only way you stop it though, stop insider trading, limit term limits.
But in a perfect world, it should be you go to your people who elected you and you say, hey, what do you want us to do?
They don't do that though.
No.
They don't do that.
In a perfect world, that's what it should be, right? Because they elected
you. They don't do that.
What do you guys want us to do?
Party line, which is why I hate freaking parties. No. Party lines. They're doing what the party does.
Right.
You look at everybody that's elected. When they start small, they start local, like where Katrona is now. They all have their beliefs. They'll go back and forth. They'll go left. They'll go right. But then they get elected into the, like Ruley did, or like Tim Ryan did. Tim Ryan was a gun advocate.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, I'm a hunter. I do this. As soon as he went federal, we need to stop. We need gun right. Right. We need to get rid of guns.
Do you think it's a situation where they get into that position and it's like, if you don't play nice, we will exile you.
100%.
And you will not be a part of our party. And we will get you elected because 100%. We'll talk shit about you.
100%. The Republicans did it to the guys that were voting against Trump. They already started doing it. Shit, the Democrat. Oh, there's 10,000 if we go radio. The Democrats did it to freaking Mitch McConnell. No, not Mitch McConnell. What's his name? The guy with the glasses?
Bernie.
Schumer.
Oh, Chuck Schumer. That was the Republican. Chuck Schumer was a Republican, wasn't he?
No.
Democrat.
The old guy.
The old guy.
He was saying some crazy stuff.
Yeah, but he went with Trump to sign the budget.
Yeah.
And they were like calling him out, saying they're going to kick him out of the party. They want him removed. Like, it's like, just because you don't go down party lines.
Right. I mean, see, that's wrong. That's the
Jimmy Trafficant.
Yeah.
He was an independent. He got freaking put in jail.
And they wonder why we don't like political parties. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Because it's not about what the people like vote for. It's about the stupid third party that is
right.
So the calculus is, if you push up against the machine, they destroy you.
Right.
And if you don't push up the machine, you go quietly, they can reward you with millions of dollars.
The only way the machine can't destroy you is if you get enough people behind you, and that has been proven over and over and over and over again throughout history.
Right.
You have to have enough people behind you that if they go against you, they lose.
Right. Tracy Randall, Youngstown City Council, remember this, Isaac? Now has term limits.
Yeah, great.
They passed term limits. It overwhelmingly passed.
Yeah.
And City Council was fighting the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Saying,
so they wanted to stay.
People didn't understand.
Well, they wanted to stay. They wanted to stay for like 5 years or whatever. They wanted to stay for.
They want to stay forever.
No. They wanted to stay. Remember, it was like, oh, well, it's grandfathered in that we stay until the end of our total time or whatever. Yeah.
Fine. But they were fighting the term limits in general, even though it passed by like 82%. Just like the numbers.
It's
I mean, Julius was outraged.
Could you imagine if the people of the United States somehow managed to stop the politicians, like the term limits? What would they try and come up with to try and counter it and say this is a bad idea?
Is there any way?
Sure
I'm the government access. Isn't there any way we can get around it and just put it up without their help? Like without the?
No, you got to go through them.
Do you have to go through Congress to get that passed? That would be my question.
Like a referendum, like a signature campaign. I mean,
you know how you do it? That's how you march on Washington. You get millions of people to go out in the streets and say, "This is what we want."
I still don't believe
they'd be forced to.
They still wouldn't do it. I don't think they would do it.
I would love to see it. They'd be forced.
Like, is there any way to pass a constitutional amendment?
They have to,
like a constitutional amendment without the government. like without Congress? That would be my question. Is there a way to do it?
you-
It'll start. If there is, Joe, we're going to start right now.
If you
Right
get
here
enough
in our
people
little-
in the streets and say, we voted you in and this is what you have to do, they'll do it. You just have to get enough people.
They're going to put you down with freaking riot gear.
I don't think
They're
so,
going to
man.
put you down with riot gear.
I don't
That's
think-
what I want to
and that's everybody's talking. Hey, how do we come together? How do we move? That's how you come together. You have a common enemy. It's called the politicians.
Yeah, but if you have 82, I mean, that thing said 82% of the people agree with that.
You get 82% of the
How
voting
is that
public
not
in the
passed?
streets.
You're
You know how many freaking people that is?
Yeah, where's our mailman at? I'm worried about him. Where's Isaac?
He just walked by. Must not have any mail.
They're too busy voting for raises for themselves. Yeah, dude. I think I would even be fine with like, hey, you have a $500,000 salary. Like they only make 170. You get a $500,000 salary a year. Vote for what's best for the people and no investing. That's totally fair.
I think 125 is fair.
Yeah, but I'd be fine with because it's not about how much money
Right.
they make. It's about
Krista
their
says
influence.
they will call martial law on us, claim. And you know what?
Yeah.
Krista, which we always we really don't ever agree with anything in Krista.
Right, and
we would be marching
Yeah.
together on that.
Yeah, we
I think
disagree
you'd
with a lot
have
of stuff with
Dems,
Krista.
Republicans, and independents.
It's 82%.
Everybody marching.
That is a very, very, very,
Man.
very, very large amount of people. And if you did that and they tried, it's like, then do you, as a leader,
yeah.
you escalate that situation. You say, hey, if you guys go out and you march on the streets about term limits, we're going to put you down and we're going to have the police is 82% of those voters. There's police in there. I'm not attacking them for that.
Here's what they would do. We're going to get this done. You have our word on it. Never happens. They'll just
do it again. You have to. If they escalate it and then it's like, okay, we're never voting these people in again. We are never voting these people in again.
Yep.
Term limits and prohibit stock trading while in office. Also, no health care after you leave office. Find a job that I saw some.
They get health care forever.
Wow, that sucks.
Pretty sure.
Sucks that I don't have
All right,
health care.
there's two ways to get an amendment.
Talk to us.
Number one is going to be congressional proposed.
Okay.
And the second one is going to be state proposed, so that 2/3 of the states would have to submit that for ratification. So you'd have to get 2/3 of all the states to come up with a term limits, present it, bypass Congress, and
2/3 of the state. You could pull that off.
You couldn't, because you're going to have your congressional people pass it at the state, and Catrona's going to eventually, and those guys are eventually going to want to go federal, like Ruley did. So to be limiting them in the future,
I think there is a little bit of hope where what this might show over time is it's almost becoming cool, like small government, which is, I understand, a rightward thinking perspective. Right. Smaller government is almost becoming like cool again. They don't need as much responsibilities. They shouldn't have as much responsibility.
It's cool. I think everybody's just tired of being
right. So that's becoming down. People are thinking that's a good thing. It's becoming like it's trending in that direction. I think if you get enough greedy politicians and there's enough people that agree with that decision, all you got to do is 82% of the people. All you got to do is I'll run on it.
Yeah,
I'll run. You get me in.
Yeah.
You get me in. I will pass. I will fight for term limits for national politicians. That guy immediately goes all the way to that.
You just run on that alone, you might get elected.
Yeah. The three things that term limits, no money in politics, you would get elected. That's what needs to happen. You need to have enough people stand up and say, this is what I'm running on. This will do it.
Then the problem is you're going to get in there and never be able to pass it because no one else is going to agree with you.
So you have to have enough people that are running for office that do that together. But then you get to the top, and the people at the top are going to
assassinate you.
Yeah,
but they're going to find
that girl you slept with, and
they're going to go back, Isaac. They're going to go back to a podcast on April 15th. We talked about peanut clamps.
Yeah,
and they are going to run that through, saying, "Look at
you want a guy to run that talked about penis clamps?
About taping his
what a crazy person!
Yeah, right, exactly.
What a crazy person!
The Renaissance of liberty. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. All right,
leave California out of that 2/3, dude. That's the crazy thing, Brian. Man. You say that, but 82% of people. That is left and right.
Yeah, who is a 20%?
That person needs to be
It's the close family members. The close family members, the lobbyists,
all the people, business owners that are paying.
That's 20%. Exactly.
There's no way they win.
All right, let's get into West Branch here real fast. So West Branch, and then we're going to defamation of character stuff. Okay. Well, you didn't want to hear that.
This clamp is really bogging everything down.
Where are you going to pee at? Oh, I thought you were going in the sink. Oh, you're getting the key. I thought you were going to pee in the sink. I thought he was going to pee in the sink. Go.
No, take over.
Okay.
Well, I'll wait for you to get back for the West Branch thing.
Okay.
We're gonna wait for Isaac to get back. We're gonna talk about West Branch. He wound up today.
He is. What's going on?
I have no idea. He's talking about. He's like out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he took pre-workout. He gets like that. You know, he goes lifts all the time. I bet he took pre-workout because he is fired up.
The dopamine flowing through.
Yeah, something's going on. Do you guys all agree that Isaac's kind of out of his mind? First off, before Isaac comes back, could you please give us a like? We have 23 people watching. Please give us a like and a follow. We are looking to grow this baby. Joe's talk. You did talk to the radio station, huh? Did you talk about us?
Well,
did they say?
No.
Did they say if you do this, you're not having Luke and Isaac on?
No, it wasn't at that level. I was figuring out how it works, who the owners are, how they book programming, who's the funders. So like getting all the backstory on how the radio station operates if it's owned by a big conglomerate. So that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, because you need a radio station to do that, right? Like we couldn't put a freaking tower up right here.
I mean, you could. There's a lot of licenses that are available, but they're really expensive.
Okay.
And the people who are sitting on them, not using them right now, you might be able to negotiate a deal. But people already have equipment or already broadcasting. That's the easiest.
Could we go from here, or do I have to go somewhere else?
I probably there. I mean, there's in a station that would take our programming in the first place are probably pretty old technology.
We're gonna have to go like dust off like the 8-track tapes and stuff
where they have levers that turn things on and things buzz.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking like the old 8-track tapes.
Yeah.
All right, you're calling in. Exactly. Thanks for calling. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, they have the little metal microphones that pull down from the ceiling.
Oh, dude, did you really, Joe? Ew.
Look, I totally didn't do that, Joe.
look. So that ew. What the?
I just shake my head sometimes.
Dude, did you see what he did with the thing? The keychain?
He said he didn't do it, so I believe him.
Dude, he totally did it.
I would never do that to your stuff. I promise.
Right.
More like it. That's not Velcro. Easy to measurement. So it's the penile clamp measurement system.
West Branch. That's where we're at.
Well, did you before we start to West Branch?
Yeah.
Did you have pre-workout or anything beforehand? Coffee. How much coffee do you have?
2 cups. I usually have espresso when I'm here too. No,
you
just my normal.
Man, you were like fired up.
What do you mean?
Joe, you left and we're like, what's going on with him?
I'm just hanging out. What do you mean? This is me all the time. This is me. This is normal Isaac. Just
okay. Yeah. Kellen said it's the brain eating amoeba. You have the amoeba right now, and it's affecting the way your behavior goes. And you're all
he's all clamped up. It's all the blood flow being restricted.
All right. Tomorrow at 5:30 is the West Branch school board meeting.
Okay.
They are going to have. It's already on the agenda. They moved it into the auditorium or something that has 1,000 people seating.
Okay.
They're going to talk about the coach, DeSantis.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like, and I emailed him, I haven't heard back. Joe, what do you think of this? So they limit, you're only allowed to talk at board meetings if you register 5 days in advance.
So that's what they just said.
It's in their policy.
Okay.
That's their policy. However, I've heard from people, they've always let you do it just when you show up, you write it down.
Yeah.
5 days in advance. They don't release the agenda until 24 hours prior to the meeting. Now, you can talk about whatever you want.
Right.
But if the topic's there, you can't do it. All this stuff has been going down. We've had people saying, I want to talk at the meeting, and they're saying, no, you're not allowed because you didn't do 5 days in advance.
Yeah, that's so frustrating.
That to me,
it's such poor leadership.
That to me, it's a public forum.
Yeah.
I said I emailed them. I truly think that's a freaking violation of the First Amendment in every way, shape, or form. You have a public thing. You're going to require someone to register, and then you're going to tell them no. That to me, and I looked online, and they said that's a very gray area. Is what?
Of course.
They said it's a gray area.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised at all. Like you have to that's the leadership showing their true colors. I've been doing it over and over and over and over again.
I canceled football practice. I had football practice. I might go to that meeting.
Really?
I might go live from that meeting tomorrow.
Record it.
Does anybody have a fake mustache I could wear? I need like a fake mustache.
They won't know who you are. You're fine, dude.
Sure about that?
There's gonna be so many people, dude.
Yeah, sure, I'll just blend in.
There is no, at this point, there is absolutely zero chance these people get elected again. Zero chance
Right.
that these board members get elected again.
100%.
Their leadership qualities are so bad, and they keep backpedaling and keep trying to say they've done nothing wrong, and then that leads up to us getting sued. What are we getting sued for?
Well, the other thing is that letter we read from the athletic director. Did we talk about this Thursday? I don't think we did. You weren't here Thursday.
I don't know.
The athletic director sent that letter out, and it was like, remember, it was kind of talking crap. I read it. It was talking crap about DeSantis, and hey, that I'm hearing he stepped down. The athletic director, because he didn't agree with the letter, and the superintendent made him put it out. Right? Yeah. And he stepped down, and they said, let's think about it. Let's wait till after the board meeting and see what happens.
I'm not surprised at all.
I'm hearing, again, these are rumors, that the one Board of Education member who has a kid playing is closely tied to Mac Trailers, who does all the donations towards that thing. These are rumors. These are rumors, by the way. So I'm saying this isn't a fact. These are rumors.
Rumors swirling. Yeah.
And they're saying they're going to withdraw it if they're funding if they don't do it. That's another rumor I heard.
Why would...
Because
Mac Trailer
is the owner of Mac Trailer is related to the Board of Education person.
So they're trying to get a different coach in so that their kid plays.
That's the rumors.
And then Mac Trailer's money won't come.
That's the rumors.
Man, that is.
And she says it's true. That's the rumors.
Isn't politics fun?
And I guess this Board of Education member is the one really pushing the superintendent. I'm hearing rumors again that she's literally saying if that coach doesn't get fired and is still here, you won't have a job. I will push to have you removed as a superintendent.
Holy crap.
Those are rumors. I'm going to say that again.
Wow.
Now, why do I keep saying...
They gots to go, man. You got to vote him out.
His niece. This is his niece. So, and I hate to say this, but in these small towns, this is what happens.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, there's a good comment.
Kyle says, I've heard from multiple sources within the school that Board of Education President Mickey Carnegie is using every bit of leverage she can think of over Superintendent Egley to prevent this issue from going to a board vote, knowing full well the board would vote to retain Walt. After 12 plus years of playing the game, Carnegie knows exactly how to manipulate the system, and she's setting Egley up to take the fall while she hides in the background. This isn't the first time Carnegie has done this, just the most public.
There you go. And that's basically everything I've heard.
So Carnegie is trying to
stop
it from going to a board vote,
because the board vote will keep him.
He's gonna be kept, and they're like, if they vote on that, they're gonna have to vote to keep him because the public is the people who put them in those seats.
Bingo.
So,
and I'm sure all those board members are getting phone calls saying, you need to vote it. You need to vote it.
Right.
You need to vote it.
So,
you need to vote it.
My question would be, if he gets in, like, at what point do you just say, I'm obviously not wanted here by the leaders of this school, so I don't want to stay? Or if he gets voted out and he's not there anymore, do they put that AAU coach in still? That girl's AAU.
There's another rumor saying that she's trying to get the AAU coach in there,
which would be insane. Yes. If that happened, that would be insane. Yes. If they still went through with that.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So
Allegedly.
So that was basically, I made a post, or we made a post because you're coming down with me.
Okay. What did you post about?
Well, I did a rumor thing. I said, these are the facts we know.
Yeah.
I said, these are the rumors. And basically what I just summarized, rumors and facts.
Right.
You know, he got fired. This is what's going on.
So they said they're going to sue us for libel?
So somebody got on there and said, and I don't even know if this guy was being serious. He seemed like a big freaking, I can't say that word. Right. And he basically said, I heard rumors you're going to get sued for libel.
Okay.
And I would assume it's either the school, it's the superintendent, it's a Board of Education member.
Right.
that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
Joe, are you familiar with defamation and libel lawsuits?
A little bit.
I am too, because we've literally had lawyers talk to us about it.
Yeah.
As we throw ourselves out there. So let me pull up my little cheat sheet.
Yeah, we've gone against like Poland leadership before, and they have a lawyer, and then we are running our ideas by our lawyer before we present them. It's fun. I can't stand lawyers; they're so annoying. But we had our own guy on our team.
Well, we have
telling us, hey,
the guys like so. Anyways, just so everybody knows, okay, let's go over this. I'm going to do you guys a little class here. First Amendment. We've said this since day one. I will continue to say this. The First Amendment does not protect you from saying whatever the hell you want, whenever you want. You can't yell fire in a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, it doesn't protect you. If I say Isaac stole money from an orphanage, lie about it, and then he sues me, and I claim First Amendment, it doesn't work like that.
It protects you from the government, not from your neighbor.
From the government.
Yeah.
Okay. I can say Donald Trump is a turd
because he's an elected official.
Donald Trump eats turds.
Yes.
Okay.
He saw him. He was eating turds.
I saw him eating turds. Now, elected officials are different. Let me rephrase this. I can say the Poland village, the village of Poland.
Yes.
Not the individual person. The village of Poland
is racist.
Yes. They can't send a cop to my door
and say, hey, stop calling us racist.
Stop calling us racist or we're going to arrest you.
Yeah.
They can't do it.
Yeah.
It's
because they're government.
Because they are the government body.
Yeah.
Taking another level, I can say West Branch Schools is racist.
Because they're a public.
Because it's a public
yeah
organization, paid by taxes, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do about it. They can't sue me. This has been court case after court case after court case.
Right.
Elected officials. Okay, let me read this here. So public figures like politicians, superintendents, or elected school board members have the highest burden to sue for defamation. They must prove the statement was false. It caused harm and it was said with actual malice, meaning the person knew it was false or recklessly ignored.
Yeah. We don't know that it's false. You can't prove that we know that it's false information. We don't know if it's false.
And that's why we're saying it's rumors. That's why we're saying it's speculation. That's why we're saying this is.
So how do you prove that we know it's false and we're lying?
You can't.
I have no idea if that's true or false.
You can't. You have to prove it causes harm. How do you prove
harm to who?
Harm to
financial harm. So if I said something about you and then you did less business because of it and you lost $2 million, I can sue you for the harm that my work.
But you have to prove.
Joe, don't sue me.
But you have to prove that when you were talking, Joe has to prove. Well, he's not an elected official. We're going to develop
Youngstown Studio is
public figures. So I can literally talk about that. We've talked about elected village council members.
Wait. So if somebody tries to take me down, am I allowed to sue them because I
would countersue the shit out of them? Yes, 100%.
Because I'm a public figure.
Oh, are we public figures?
You know what I mean?
Public figures.
Yeah. Because so I couldn't go after them and say,
wait, we're public figures.
Public figures. You put yourself out there for the public.
There you go. I guess we couldn't. I guess
over the airwaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess so somebody, but we'd have to prove harm.
Right.
False.
Right.
So like if somebody, I guess we could prove, you know what? Somebody freaking writes a freaking calls our company.
So like
somebody calls our company and
people
says,
were telling, remember, this is just, sorry, I'm such a groupie. Joe Rogan, when he had COVID.
Yeah.
He got over it in like 3 days. He said, here's everything I'm doing. I'm treating it A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That was the ivermectin thing. You're taking horse dewormer. CNN took his video of him saying that, put a filter over it, made him look green.
Okay.
And then posted the video and said, he's taking horse dewormer. Look how bad he looks.
No.
And he's like, bro, you guys took my video.
Wow.
Here's my video.
He's
like, I'm not suing CNN, but everybody keeps telling me I should.
Yeah.
Because you guys are you're lying.
Right.
You know, because you had somebody in that office put a filter over it to make me look like I'm green.
Right. So if you can prove harm, you can prove it was false and it was done with malice. And I think that malice part too, meaning you purposely did it.
Yeah.
which
to cause harm.
Yeah.
Purposely did it
To devalue his word.
right.
You know?
That's so that's almost, I think that's almost impossible. Like it's almost impossible.
Right.
Public schools, school boards, government agencies like public schools cannot sue for defamation. They're public entities and criticism of them is protected speech. That's where you get into the First Amendment.
Yeah.
Individual school employees or officials like a coach or principal might try, but again, if they're public figures or acting in a public role, the same actual malice standards apply.
You be a public figure within the community because you're a leader.
You're a coach, you're superintendent, you're elect, you know what I mean? Like that's it. Stating these are unconformed reports or community rumors makes it clear you are not declaring verified facts. So that's why whenever a news agency says these are rumors, this is speculation,
Yeah.
this is to protect it.
I'll say one thing. I'm happy that our government punishes bad leadership in that regard.
Yes.
Because in turn, it's really hard to get to sue if you're a bad leader and you're doing shady stuff.
Right.
Because you're a leader.
Yes. 100%.
I like that.
I'll tell you what Trump did the other day. He attacked. Did you see him like calling out 60 Minutes and stuff like that? I don't think like he can say that stuff, but if he was to act on it and like go after 60
What did he
Minutes,
say? I didn't even see it.
it was something. They said something bad about him and he was crying about it. But it's like, dude, but if he actively went after them, I'd have a problem with it. Big time problem with it.
Yeah,
because you cannot go after media. You know what I mean? You can't. Like in court or something like that. That's crazy. Unless actual malice, harm, false. Businesses. So let's say we talk about a business.
Right.
Okay. Businesses can sue, but they must prove the statement was false. It caused economic harm. The person made the claim negligently or maliciously.
Okay.
However, opinions or satirical posts are not defamation. Labeling it again as a rumor or what we're hearing makes it an opinion or a secondhand info. It is not definitive. This is a provable false statement. You have not committed defamation.
You ChatGPT that to make sure we're not getting sued?
I did. And then I double checked it. And I double checked it with our lawyer too, by the way. I talked to our lawyer too yesterday and he's like, yeah, you're fine. And he actually said, I dare them to sue you guys because we'll countersue them for harassment.
I can't wait to show up in court with a tuxedo shirt on.
All right. One more. Okay. Private citizens. Okay. This is the easiest category to sue. If you lie about a regular person and it causes harm, job loss, reputation damage, they might have a case, but they still have to show that you said something false, caused harm, and it wasn't an opinion, and you didn't clarify it with speculation, humor, or rumor.
Yeah.
So again, if you say this is unconfirmed, just a rumor, we are hearing this from people, it undercuts the claim. This is everybody should be reading this because
what example of that would be, and it makes the most sense because random guy, right? He's a police officer, or no, not a police officer.
No, it could be a police officer.
It would be like another loan officer.
There you go.
Another loan officer. We come on here and we just talk absolute garbage about this guy and make up all kinds of stuff. And then everybody just hears through the grapevine, this guy did this, this guy did this, this guy did this. And then he loses all of his business because everybody's like, I heard this crazy rumor about you. And then that guy's like, I can't eat. I don't have any money. I lost my job. I lost everything. My bank.
There you go.
Yeah. So
another great example.
I think that's good that type.
Another great example, which has actually happened. We won't use names. We get a listing for real estate.
Right.
Another realtor calls our seller.
Yeah. And she faced, which is even freaking dumber of her.
Right.
She messaged him on Facebook. So it was in writing.
Right.
Idiot.
Saying, why are you using the MLO Bros? They committed fraud at another real estate company.
Yeah.
100% false.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Accused us of fraud.
100% false. If that real estate agent or if that seller would have said, guys, I don't want to use you anymore. I'm taking it away.
Yeah.
We could prove false. We could prove harm because we could say how much
they're just trying to destroy a reputation. And then you have like
agents from that office messaging us and saying, "Oh, well, we heard you guys got fired for fraud." Like, what are you talking about?
Crazy.
It's such a bad rumor mill. I'm like, what?
So
you people all sit in your office and try and destroy it when you can go to management and ask them what happened.
Dude, they're so jealous.
Fraud.
They're so jealous. They're jealous.
Like
we're successful.
Liars.
They're jealous we don't do it their own way.
Liars.
And they're jealous because
you wonder why realtors have the reputation that they do.
Dude, they're jealous.
Real estate agents have the reputation that they do. Because
Yeah.
you say we're committing fraud.
Yep.
And we've been agents for less than a year,
Yep.
and we get like a few clients.
Dude, they're just jealous,
and
bro.
they accuse us of fraud and then blatantly lie. Don't call us, don't ask us, just you guys are fraudsters.
So fun fact, I called the state I called the state
man.
division and they were going to call her and tell her not to do
You
that.
call our first client,
Yep.
the first client
Crazy.
we get.
Crazy.
A leader from a local real estate company calls our first client and says, "Why would you use the MLO Bros? There's plenty of other realtors in the area that you could use that are better." That
one was
breaks
different.
So many codes of ethics within the realtor organization as well.
The person's house we were listing was an elected official.
Yeah,
The owner of this real estate company
was pressuring him,
called him and said,
messaged
him and said, "Why would you use them? They're not from your township.
Yeah,
You should be using a real estate company and people in your township."
and then shortly after that is when we have to leave our real estate company that we were working for at the time for a month with over $1 million worth of business in our pipeline, because shortly after that, not saying I can't prove that they're tied together, but the president of the company calls us and says, "Hey, you guys in your podcast, you need to stop doing your podcast or leave." And we had to leave because we caused too much trouble in the community, even though I was like, "Sir, do you have any idea how much money we've given back to the community and helped the community?" "No, I've never heard any of the good stuff." I guess we'll just leave.
Isaac gets so frustrated about it. Dude, screw him.
Because it's literally a bunch of 8th grade girls sitting at the lunch table picking on the people that they don't like. That is what it is.
Picking on people who are different than them.
Yeah,
not
doing it in a
like
different
them,
way.
Doing it a different
way. Not part of the cool kids club.
Dude, we closed 90% more business than all of the agents in our area. I don't know what
the average realtor closes less than 4 deals a year.
And we closed together.
I closed 27
and I
by
closed
myself
19,
last year.
19, 20.
Yeah. In our first year.
Suck it.
Yeah.
Suck it.
Seriously.
Suck it. And that's not rumor. You can suck it. That's a fact. You could suck my.
Speaking of that, thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate it.
Sorry, Joe. We just went off on a freaking tangent.
We appreciate you for being here. MLO Bros, Youngstown Studio. We thank you. Thank you. If you haven't already, go down below, give us a like. Go follow the MLO Bros. Go follow Youngstown Studio. If you need a realtor, you need a loan officer, you need to refi. Luke and I are both licensed in both those things. If you need to start a podcast and talk about how dumb the MLO Bros are, since we are public figures,
we can't sue you.
We can't sue you. So you can come into the studio. You can talk to Joe. Joe will get you set up on a podcast.
Joe will probably sit with you and help you talk shit about us.
I'll be like, can you believe what these guys were talking about? They're trying to ruin my reputation.
BJ, I need to meet you in the bathroom when this is over.
That is awfully close.
On Thursday, we're going to talk about sexual harassment in the workplace. BJ,
we are not doing that. They are just gonna talk about business
in the bathroom with a measuring tape.
No, can we order that product, Joe?
It's his birthday.
It's my birthday.
It's his birthday on Thursday.
Getting you a Clint for your birthday,
guys. It's his birthday. Somebody buy him
honey, can you believe it, Joe?
Was it like $100?
it was $100.
What? Tape is so much better. I ain't got money like that.
Cut this. Goodbye. We'll see you guys Thursday. Bye. Good cut this.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. This is original Youngstown content. Feel free to share our videos and tell your friends about us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube